games are pretty close, so nobody's gonna one-shot me here. I would say I got like 3 to 4 losses in this, 28 health, and I do need to get to level 9. I do need to find a lot of units, so I'm not spending gold just yet. We're gonna analyze this warrior game, because I think there were some moments which are worth taking a second look at. So let's just jump in there. Just gonna roll through the whole thing quick, and if something interesting comes up, then I'm gonna talk about it. Early game, we're trying to pick the strongest unit. I was thinking to go assassins, since they're viable again after the patch that the primordial plague has ended. But I just pick a Venomancer here, and yeah, I did pick Wicked Intent on this level. Would probably pick Vitality Booster, but I don't think it's so useful in the late game, and if we end up going a build that actually uses Heartless, that can make a big difference, especially that there are so many Warlocks out there. So yeah, I was thinking Savages here, Savages and Warlocks, stuff like that. I was just checking if anybody's doing Assassins and stuff. Was still in the back of my mind. So yeah, I would pick up Slardar. Yeah, here. Obviously just gonna pick Blade Mail. It's so much better than the other options. Just picking the strongest units from the shop. And the first couple of rounds didn't go too well. We lost quite a bit of HP. I was thinking to do Warlocks. So it's a bit all over the place now, we're not quite decided on what we're gonna do yet. As it usually is, you just try to complete 2 offs to 2-star units and roll with what you get in terms of units and items. So yeah, we just keep losing early game. Oh I'm just gonna take the voice off. Okay. So yeah, warriors are shaping up. I think at this point we were about to go Savage Warriors, but the units just didn't come. Maybe 2 what is this? Trolls in there. You know, so there were a lot of options to play with. Yeah, ended up doing the Savage at the final point. Yeah, so just keep losing. And I think that's the point when we're picking the sniper up. Again, we knew that we weren't gonna go mages, knew that we weren't gonna go scrappies, gave up on the trolls. Savages and druids were still an option, so we're picking the 2-3 drops here, I think. Yeah, and we did. Obviously, we always wait for the interest to come in. Like we went up to 20 gold, and then wait for the fight to start, because then your interest is logged in, and if it's not an immediate improvement to your board, you should be waiting with the purchase until that point. So yeah, moving on. Just checking the adversaries. A lot of people doing savages, assassins as well. So yeah, we're definitely not thinking about taking assassins anymore. You should be checking this board regularly, since everybody's using the same unit pool. If like 3 people are doing, I don't know, knights and mages, let's say, you have a much lower chance to complete an actual good team with that. So yeah, it's useful to keep an eye out on this stuff. And if I see like 5 mages, I probably wanna go into Nagas or something just for the magic damage reduction they give. So yeah, you can see items, all kinds of useful stuff. It's a really great screen. I'm so glad they invented it, implemented it. Okay. So we're still not decided on whether to go for savages or hunters. Doing a few more turns, probably quite a few losses are incoming still. And yeah, this game, you might be losing the whole early game, like you don't even win a single time, and then so it happened in this game, you end up winning the thing. These things still, was thinking about maybe we do 2 trolls and then slowly build up the troll thing. I think once we completed the sniper level 2, then we decided to go for the hunters. We're beating the creep round. What item are we picking? Yeah, we were gonna pick arcane boots. Embarrassment of riches, I think it's a bit too late for that at level 10, though you can still pick it if nothing else comes up that's good. Obviously arcane boots is excellent for the sniper, and we were gonna go 6 warriors at this point, just judging from the number of assassins out there. So warriors have a lot of stuns, and in late game whoever casts the first stun sometimes decides the outcome of the match. So yeah, you do like to have more mana, faster mana rather. And it's the same thing with sniper as well. Like usually he casts his ability and an enemy unit dies, so we want to kill that enemy unit as soon as possible. That's why we give it to him. And he's the strongest unit as well. Thinking about Beastmaster. I think I was gonna buy him. I just forgot about him. So I ended up not buying him, which turned out fine. Yeah, so we're gonna go for 3 hunters and 6 warriors at this point. We're looking for the next hunter. Yeah, just checking what's going on. I basically do this every turn. It helps you a lot to see what your enemies are up to. So yeah, a lot of people are doing natures and savages, so just justifying our decision to go for something else. I'm not too worried about the positioning here. Like, I don't reorganize the units. It might make a small difference, but since the units are not upgraded to the optimal, we're stacking gold more or less. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. You could just put all your hunters in here so that they're focusing on the person on the left side, and you can just try to kill his formation going from the flank. I mean, what usually they do, they put the unit here that they want to get damaged. So, you know, it's either you burst the unit first or the unit can cast his ability. I don't think at this point positioning these guys over here makes that much of a difference. Like, they're basically gonna attack the unit. Assassin-wise, it's better if they are over here. But at this point, most of the enemies are not assassins, so positioning accordingly. We're just gonna have to silence this again. We find the tiny, we find Doom and Kunkka, which is huge. Even if we weren't decided, we're just gonna pick them up on level 8. I'm not sure how we went. Like, our economy is gonna be okay, so we rush in level 9. But I guess, well, you know what? I'm not gonna guess. We're gonna see. Obviously waiting for the interest point and then buying everything we need. And at around right now we start winning games. We already won 2 before that. Just buying the warriors, just F6. I don't plan to use either X or Tusk. But it's better than nothing. It completes the alliance if we don't find the stuff we're looking for. Which is a Tide Hunter, and we had quite a bit of trouble of finding him actually. Okay. So things are going well. Again, checking on the enemies. I'm doing that a lot. We forgot to change all the units up and down, so I think we're losing this round. Yeah, we're losing it. Not by much, but we do. Thankfully, we end up picking up another arcane boot, which I'm happy with. Once you have like 6 warriors, you have a lot of stuns and you want to cast them as fast as possible. Yeah, so we're moving up the ladder. We're kind of in the midsection at this point. Yeah, we're still thinking about like 4 warriors, 2 hunters and 2 warlocks on level 8. We're still not decided on how this thing is gonna look. But you know, you shouldn't lock in your opinion and start rolling your gold away for units that you imagined for yourself, because a lot of times it's not gonna happen. Yeah. Alright, finally moving them on the side. So yeah, here we're thinking whether we buy Windranger or Lycan as our 3rd hunter. Lycan is a human, so is Kunkka, so that we have going for him. We're not gonna complete the elusive zone anyway, so there is 1 more tag that is useful on him. And also he's melee, and we're pretty vulnerable to assassins, and Lycan, instead of Windranger, helps to mitigate that. And also he is just a stronger unit by himself. Like, if the 2 hunters are attacking something else, and if we were to find a hunter trait, which I think we did not, and Lee can just attack something by himself, summons his 2 wolves, which are also hunters, and then 3 hunters are attacking it, so the trait procs. So yeah, Lycan is just a better choice and a stronger unit in general. So we end up going for him and say goodbye to the warlock thing. I think we might have flirted with it a bit more, but we ended up letting it go. And just taking a good look around the number of assassins, justifying the Lycan pick again. Yeah, just looking to complete level 3s. Always wait for the interest point before you do it. Only reason to do it before your interest locks in is if your board is not the strongest, or it's possible that it's not the strongest, and there's an immediate improvement in buying that, then you can let an interest point go, or in the late game. Once you're not trying to go for interest anymore. Alright, so we're debating whether to try to go for 6 hunters, and we end up not doing that. It's gonna be the level 20 fight with tomato and potato. You always try to kill the one on the right first. I think that's tomato. No, it's potato. Yeah, it's Potato, because he's got 25 armor and the other one doesn't. So you want to split your team. You're trying to damage them about the same amount, and then just try to damage Potato a little bit more so that he dies first, and the other one is easier to kill afterwards. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Mask of Madness, we can use it on the Draw Ranger, which is pretty good. Blade Mail is also good, and Vanguard is here as well. I ended up picking Vanguard just because out of the box it's a better item, though I have 6 warriors in here. And the Blade Mail's damage might have been a better choice. I still don't know. But Vanguard, I think, is a better item for abilities to be cast. I guess it keeps you alive longer, I would suppose. Obviously, if you try to deal more damage, then go for Blade Mail. We ended up being fine, but that's like a debatable choice, I guess. All of these were pretty good items. Yeah, just rushing level 9. Like, I want to go up to 3 hunters and 6 warriors, so trying to go there as fast as we can. Assassins, Toyotic. I don't know how to say that name. Yeah, anyways, he's still beating us. We're gonna go heads up against him in the very end. So yeah, we're kind of building against assassins. There were like 3 assassins, I think, in the game, and but they're a pretty big counter to hunters, so we complete that, and just didn't have another unit to add in. No, we did have the Slark. It wasn't in there yet. Okay. Again, once we decide to go 6 warriors, we kind of like team compositions which stick together, just because we have so many AoE stuns. Kunkka, Tidehunter, Tiny. So we're happy about it. Doom is super useful against anything really, but these things that are just keep summoning stuff. Yeah, Kunkka just wrecks them. Doom just wrecks them, I was gonna say. Okay. Again, he's it's pretty interesting. He's doing like half warriors, half knights for some reason. Probably those were the units he found. But again, he's stacked up because of the knights and everything, and just eats all the stun. He ends up winning at the end, though. He had better units. I think he even had more units. He had 8, we had 8. No, he didn't have more units. We still have 3 1-stars, and kind of important ones, so... Like, what are the most important units in this, I think, is... obviously your hunters, your damage dealers. You want to get them up to level 2 as soon as possible. And Pudge. Pudge, he's got a huge HP pool, and then he should be up to level 2 as soon as possible as well, so... yeah, one of our hunters, pretty big damage dealer, is not at level 2. Positioning wise, you could put him here so that you're going for the flank. At level 1 he's not that crazy good, so I decided I just want more beef here in the front line in case we're going up somebody who's stacking his units up here. Then it's more useful than a Legion who's dying fast. So yeah, and then your best stunners like Kunkka and Tiny, I would say the most important upgrade. Okay. Moving on. Scrappy's, I think he might be beating us here. He's beaten us a couple of times. No, I think that's the point when we start beating him. It might be, no, it might not be. Okay. But yeah, you gotta be patient, gotta go for interest. Just not spend your gold, trust in your strategy, and because a lot of time it happens that a lot of time it actually happens to me, like things are going bad and you just start to roll down your gold uh to, you know, help yourself out. But again, I'm checking no vicious intent on anybody. Like the games are pretty close, so nobody's gonna one-shot me here. I would say I got like 3 to 4 losses in this, 28 health, and I do need to get to level 9. I do need to find a lot of units, so I'm not spending gold just yet. Let's keep going for the interest still, and obviously it's gonna be a natural round, so we're gonna wait for that. And then I think once we get up to level 9, we start spending out, because we're not we don't really want to go to level 10. Just want to have strong units. And yeah, we're just spending everything and buying stuff and looking for the Tide Hunter. We've been looking for him all this game. He didn't show up. Absolutely, Moonshard is a no-brainer. It's great on anything. It's especially good on a sniper. We can give the so that's the we can give the fast mana to one of our stuns. This one's gonna go on Doom. Obviously his ability is very good, and then we're just gonna have the Moon Shard on the sniper, which is better for him. The boots might be a bit faster, but Moonshard does increase his physical damage quite a bit as well, and it's a long-term thing, while as his slippers, they use their ability once per battle, so that is really just to do that first stun, or like summon your first thing. You could have put this on Archwarden or something in the old meta. Okay. Obviously Blink Dagger is better for him, but still. Same thing, same idea. Yeah, just spending all our gold. We don't need the interest anymore. Just wanna complete everything. And one thing you never wanna do is to die with all your gold in your pocket. If you're dying with 50 gold, you're doing something wrong. Alright. Finding our Doom. Yeah, and I just don't have enough units to do this. I was gonna go for any warrior at this point, I think. Oh yeah, but we finally find the Tide Hunter. Yeah, I just put everybody up there, and again, assassins. And there were like 5 people in here, so I wasn't gonna position for this one enemy, though he's the enemy we need to be most afraid of, but that would have been a huge disadvantage, and we ended up winning anyways. Okay. So not much happening here really. We do put Sniper in the back, just in case we face him again. It's not that big of a disadvantage against anybody else, so yeah, why not? We're just gonna keep looking for units, fighting these. Not too much is changing. Minor positioning differences. We do wonder where to position our guys. We don't put Budge on the side here, because then we would risk he's gonna pick a frontliner instead of a. So let's say, I'm just gonna, yeah, that's good. So let's say we put Budge here, and then here in place of Leaken. So this is 3 blocks away, and this is 3 blocks away. And if Budge is here, then he might pick a frontliner instead of something squishy that we actually want to kill. I was gonna say if he's doing something like we do, like imagine this, and Pudge is over there, then he might very well pick the frontliner here instead of the actual damage dealer we want to kill with him. So that's why he's not on the point where he's taking the most damage, because obviously this guy is gonna take the most damage. I'm not putting Tidehunter there just because he's not that strong at level 1, so he might just die fast. And Lycan should be able to cast his ability. We didn't find any global items for warriors or hunters. And we put a tiny here to catch assassins. We're gonna put him back here in a second. Yeah, so that was a bummer, but we still ended up doing pretty well, even without global items. So yeah, I mean, it's just a build that you know, you can do within any circumstances. You don't need a RNG god tier item that carries you through the way. And the items are not that crazy. Like, the best item we got is the Moon Shard. This could have been Brush of the Aggressor or Brush of the Martyr, something like that. These can be any defensive items. Obviously, Blade Mail is very good. And we're not taking full advantage of this because it's not on the warrior that's taking the most damage, but it's fine at this point. Yeah, we're just debating about the front line, how to set this up. We end up giving a chance to Leviathan. Maybe at level 1 he can take all the damage that's coming to him. And we start checking enemy boards as well at this point, because there's no reason to do this when there are 8 people, but when there are like 5-4, you can start messing around with it. Defeat the Diners. We get a lot of stuns, a lot of hunters focusing on the same target, so yeah, we're blowing them up. So this one is interesting. It's a decision between Battle Fury and Moon Shard. Moon Shard is pretty good because it's with the attack speed your mana gain is increased. So you can easily put this on a stunner or anything. It doesn't need to be a damage dealer. Doesn't even need to be a physical damage dealer. You can put it on your warlocks or your disruptor or something, and just get his ability cast as fast as possible. But we have Battle Fury here, which is also a great item, and we have a Lycan, and he's got a chance to double attack. So I was hoping to get the bigger value out of the Battle Fury. Moonshard is extremely good on Lycan as well. You know, great picks, either one works. Yeah, and we find the Tidehunter. Try to sell everything and buy it, but we are just a bit too late to the party. Yeah, and splashing attack is pretty good. It's just destroying whatever's in front of him, so we're happy about that pick. And it's pretty good on Lycan as well, just because of the trait that he has, that he does crits like assassins do. So if you crit, it does increase the amount, the damage of the crit, because of plus 70 attack power, and then you can crit 3-4 people at once with this item of Lycan, so yeah. It didn't end up topping the damage charts though. We're going up against the assassins again. The number of warriors, high HP units like Lycan, and the stuns are getting to them. This one is unfortunate, we lose, but soon we start winning those fights as well again. Yeah, we go and put everything back here. I felt like we can beat the scrappy guy one way or another. Obviously it's not great against the scrappy guy, it's a terrible positioning against him, but he was gonna die anyway. So yeah, takes a bit long to get the damage over there. He's got a pretty good team comp, but we're ahead, and I was much more worried about the assassins. So yeah, we're not winning this, but you know, it's kind of even still. I don't really lose too much HP. He's got 1 health, he's not streaking, he's gonna drop out. Yeah, we do a minor adjustment. Oh yeah, we're selling the Legion to buy the Kunkka, which is an immediate improvement, and getting the Legion up to level 3 is, you know, something that might happen, might not happen. So we do this minor adjustment just in case if we were gonna face the scrappies again. It's not ruining too much our chances against the assassins. So best of both worlds, I think. Yeah, and our main damage dealers are still safe and just killing these guys. So yeah, if he doesn't have any AoE, then you're good to go in one of the corners, and there shouldn't be too big of a problem. Yeah, Scrappy guy drops out, and we're facing the assassins. So that's gonna be the heads up. So glad at this point that I went for 6 warriors with 6 hunters. We would probably lose this game just because of the just because how strong his team comp is against 6 hunters. Yeah, again, the setup is not too great against his splashing attacks, but we end up defeating him. We get the what were the choices? Yeah, so again, we don't have a lot of gold. Not really believing in upgrading Glycan at this point. So though Recruiter and Friends and Family Discount are both great things, we want something that improves the board immediately, and that is Refresher Orb, so we're gonna be picking that. Obviously gonna put it on one of my stunners, which ended up being Tide Hunter. Yeah, Tide Hunter. Just checking what, like, that's the other thing. You wanna, especially if you're heads up, you always wanna check what's the enemy doing. So he's trying to position himself. He's putting the Dragon Knight here in order that when the Dragon Knight casts his ability, then it's gonna splash through all my units like that. That's why he's doing that, and obviously he's putting the Tide Hunter up here to stun these guys, believing that I'm gonna keep my front line here. Now that I see that, I move my Tide Hunter up here, so that if the Tide Hunter's stun procs, it's not gonna hit these guys, it's only gonna come to this far. It's definitely not gonna hit my main damage dealer. He did change his Dragon Knight here, so that he's gonna attack this way. That's a bit risky, like if he comes in here and for example tries to cast his ability on the Tiny, then he's not gonna damage my damage dealers. I mean, the same thing can happen here. I think it's much more likely that he's gonna cast his ability this way if he stands here, then it's almost like a 50-50 here. Okay. But not 100% sure how the targeting works in this game. I was looking on Reddit and everywhere and didn't find any trustworthy information. So yeah, hopefully Valve is gonna put something out there to show us what's going on here. So let's see the fight. Yeah, so he starts attacking the first unit in front of him, which is the Tide Hunter. If he had full mana, he would cast his ability this way, hitting my Tide Hunter, my Paladin, my Tiny. Maybe Kunkka and Slardar, but leaving my damage dealers undamaged. So oh yeah, we might actually see him cast his ability, and it's going the same direction as it is predicted. My damage dealers are still alive. The assassins got stuck here. The blood Hunter, not Blood Hunter, Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker was able to come in here and attack the level 3 sniper, but he did die in the end, so that's fine. And the stuns are coming online too. Now that I realize that the the Tide Hunter's stun was a bit late, I'm gonna adjust that later on, because I would like him to cast his ability faster to break that front line as soon as possible. And yeah, that's basically how that fight goes. So yeah, here I'm switching, I'm giving him the fast mana instead of the double ability. There's a good chance that Kunkka's gonna be hit by a lot of assassins here in this point, so his mana's gonna charge up fast just by itself. And then once it's charged up, he's gonna cast 2 ships. At least that's the plan. Nothing really changes. I might even say I don't care about the units and the gold at this point. This game is gonna close out fast, and I'm not gonna be able to go up to level 10. And even if I did, I don't have a unit to put in. So, and everything is so far from being level 3, except obviously the level 3s. So yeah, just checking his items. Most importantly, checking his setup. Switching the Leaken and what are you? Switching the Leaken with the Tiny here. Because I thought he was gonna leave it like that, so that Tiny goes up against his damage dealer and hopefully just throws him away before he can cast his ability, damaging so many of my units. Meanwhile, Leaken can get started on the assassins over here, damaging like 2-3 of them at the same time with his item. How this goes, let's see. So yeah, he ended up dropping his Tide Hunter because it couldn't get its stun off properly, just because of the long line positioning with it here. So he was like, I'm gonna buy a level 1 Gyrocopter and that's gonna solve it. And it ended up not being the case. I mean, it's not that Gyrocopter is bad, it's just you know, he was trying. I don't know what I would have bought. Maybe a Medusa if he can get the stun off, then these guys probably would have been kept like this. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, so I think that's a deep enough analysis how this heads up is going. Let's just see that first bit again. All right, so the assassins are not jumping as fast as I would have hoped, because they can target my frontliner here. So because they're not jumping over to my right side that fast, Leaken starts to run up there. And they end up jumping in here. But still attacking the Doom mainly, thankfully, so we're gonna be fine. Yeah. And that's that. We beat him on his board as well, by a smaller margin though, so yeah, we're just gonna keep looking how to position these guys. If he changes anything, we beat him 2 out of 2 occasions, so I'm just not gonna switch things. If he doesn't switch anything, and he did not, so yeah, just gonna keep going for that. And we end up winning. We're beating him on his board as well, and that's that. We win the game. So yeah, that was Hunters and Warriors. Hunters and Warriors.